Tennessee Titans fans, it is that time of the week where we hop on Reddit and see what fans are saying about the state of the organization as the Titans get ready for their final preseason game of the 2025 preseason. And we've got a lot of posts to check out today, all from the Two Tone Talk Reddit page. The link to that Reddit community is in the video description below. Would love for you to go over there, join, post your questions, comments, memes, and they will get featured on this segment next week. You can guarantee it. Let's get to it. The first one says, some Titans fans are professional victims. I'm tired of some people in this fan base complaining that we don't get enough attention. Why should we? We've won 0 Super Bowls. Nobody cared about Kansas City until they started winning. When we go on a dynasty run, believe me, people will not stop talking about us. I love being the underdogs. I love people counting this team out instead of complaining about it. The fans and players should have a chip on their shoulders. I mean, listen, I think that so much of what I do on my channel centers around calling out how unfair some of the media coverage is of smaller market teams like the Tennessee Titans primarily, because this is a Titans channel. I think that in some cases I understand what this user is saying. I also like being the underdogs. I like being counted out. I like being overlooked. And I can see that a team like Kansas City was not really talked about very much until Mahomes and until they started winning. I think for me, I can also see that there are some elements of it that are ridiculous. When I see Cam Ward getting no media coverage at all while they just sit around and talk about Travis Hunter to the Jags, what have the Jags ever done? And they have no problem giving media coverage to them. The Colts haven't done anything since Peyton Manning left, and they have no problem giving a ton of love to them. I mean, that's just the tip of the iceberg, but I mean, there are other teams as well that you could also look at and say, well, they haven't really ever won a Super Bowl, or they haven't won a Super Bowl in a very long time, and the media has no problem talking about them, but the Titans somehow get, I don't know, it's different with the Titans. It's like, oh, of course we're not going to talk about them. It's like, well, they're one of the 32 teams. So I think there's a fine line. There is a point where it can cross over into victimhood, but there also are sometimes where it's okay to call out the media for being blatantly ridiculous like they were on draft night with Cam Ward. I do appreciate your post, though. This user said, didn't realize this until just now, but look at Cam's custom thigh pads, and you can see he's got the cross on both of his thigh pads. Always love to see the starting quarterback repping the king. Here we go. Things I want to see out of week 2 of preseason for the Titans. So obviously this user posted this before the week 2 game against Atlanta. So I'm going to look at what they wanted to see, and then I'm going to see, did we see it? They said, the main thing I want to see, I cannot stress this enough, I want to see the defensive line get pressure on the quarterback and do better in the run game. I guess they did better in the run game a little. They got a sack. It was on a blitz. I don't know if that would count as like the defensive line, but I mean, they were probably a little better against Atlanta, but I didn't see anything that just made me feel warm and fuzzy. Would love to see the backups actually look like NFL quarterbacks to some degree. I do think the backups were better. Brandon Allen was much better against Atlanta than he was against Tampa Bay, and Trevor Siemian is a huge upgrade from Tim Boyle. The offensive line needs to continue to do good. I thought they did. Number 4, I want to see a passing touchdown. I don't care who throws it. Brandon Allen to Gunnar Helms. So you did see a passing touchdown. I would have preferred to see Cam throw one. I want to see this offense generate a 35-plus yard play. I believe the opening play from Cam to Alec Io Manor was 35 yards. I want to see a little bit more out of the running backs. I mean, the Mims, you saw more out of him. And last, I know it's just preseason, but I'm a competitive fan. Let's go out there and get a win. Well, they won. So if you wanted to see the Titans win, they won this game. So this user saw most of what they wanted to see. Congratulations to you. This user said, here are 3 wide receivers who I think the Titans should go after. If they go through the draft, Bryant Wesco Jr., or in the next draft, Jeremiah Smith. Or if they explore trade, Chris Olave. These 3 wide receivers would be a perfect fit on the Titans and help progress the growth in Cam Ward and give him the additional help that he needs. And also this would help the young wide receivers on the team as well with the addition of Olave. What do y'all think? I mean, I think Chris Olave is a great wide receiver, and I don't know of anybody that would be bummed out to have him on the team. But, I mean, the draft is just hard for me now. this far out because of the transfer portal and everybody moves around in college football now. It's a lot of times it's really hard to pinpoint who the. I mean, I a year ago, I don't know if people were as high on Cam Ward as they were this year. So it's just hard to pinpoint who the big time players are going to be in the draft a year or especially two out, just because so much changes in college football from year to year. But I do think that over time, the Titans are going to have to invest in their wide receiver room. This user said, my takeaways from preseason week 2 for the Titans. Let's read these real quick. Cam did not play bad at all. The stats look bad, but his receivers but if his receiver didn't drop a wide open touchdown, all of a sudden he would have had a great stat line. The offensive line, I'm optimistic for. The backup quarterbacks played much better, in my opinion. The defense is still growing, much better performance. We got a lot more pressure, but there's still a lot to be improved on. Hunter made a crazy touchdown catch. Hunter, it made me mean Gunner. I need to see more from the special teams next week. They were not very good. We missed an extra point, which will always get on my nerves. Absolutely. The running backs look better, but the offensive line blocked better for them. That's always the case. So props to both the running backs and the offensive line. Once again, we need to get the tight ends involved more with the offense. I think that position group has a lot of potential. It feels good to win. Let's go Titans. I agree with most of that. I mean, I think the tight ends are going to be a much bigger part of this offense once the regular season gets here than what you're going to see in the preseason. Remember, the Titans are not showing all of their cards in the preseason because who does? This user said, send help. I'm a Titans fan. Our receivers, not named Calvin Ridley, apparently can't catch. Our defense can't generate stops. Our second and third string defenses, our kickers can't kick, and our special teams are still special. I want Ward to be great, but I'm not sure I can emotionally handle the Will Levis Experience 2.0 if this team unravels during the season and everything turns to feces, especially if someone as talented and hardworking as Cam gets dragged down kicking and screaming into the swamp of sadness that has been this organization over the past 3 years. I mean, I'm concerned about the receivers outside of Ridley as well. We haven't really seen any wide receiver emerge, and you're probably not going to see that. Hopefully in the regular season they will, but you won't see it until then. The preseason is just so limited. But yeah, I think that you have to acknowledge that that is a possibility. If Brian Callahan is just not a good coach, if the receivers outside of Ridley can't figure anything out, it's going to be tough sledding for Cam Ward, not to mention if even one guy on the offensive line is atrocious, like the Titans have had one guy who's atrocious every year the last few years, if they have that again, yeah, it's going to be tough sledding for Cam Ward. I don't want that for him, just like you don't. And yeah, I'm not going to lie, I'm genuinely fearful of that as well. I don't want Will Levis 2.0. I don't want to sit through another season like what I just sat through, but we're going to hope that that doesn't happen. Thank you for your question, or your comment, rather. This user said punter. Still baffled about why we got rid of Stonehouse. He was arguably one of the best punters in the league for the past couple of years. Even after his injury, he was still really good. And we let Kern walk because of Stonehouse. I mean, hard to argue that letting Kern go was not the right call because, I mean, he retired shortly thereafter. I mean, it was just time to go another route. Stonehouse, I don't know when this user posted this, but Ryan Stonehouse got cut the other day by, I think, the Dolphins. So I don't know if I'm willing to say he's one of the best punters in the league when he just got cut by another team that's not us. That being said, I'm not excited about the punter that the Titans have now based on what I've seen. It hasn't exactly been great punting-wise in the preseason. Stonehouse, I think the big problem with him, I just think he could punt it far, which came in handy at some points of the field, but then there were some times where he out-punted his coverage a lot, and I think he was not good at downing the ball inside the 5. He always just punted it through the end zone. He just knew how to kick it far, it seemed. And so I understand the complaint that maybe they had there, that they felt like there was somebody better out there. This user said, I feel like the Titans should add a couple more vets to the defensive side of the ball. I feel like these two vets on defense would be the perfect fit. How would y'all feel if the Titans added Justin Simmons and Stephon Gilmore to the defense to add vets and leadership to help with the youth? Aren't those two guys on a team? Or aren't those two guys? I feel like Gilmore's on a roster somewhere. Either way, yeah, the secondary in particular is going to need some veteran help. I think the Titans next week, when it comes time to cut down to the 53, the Titans have the first pick of waivers because they had the first pick in the draft. The Titans are going to have their pick of who to pick up off the waiver wire as other players get released from other teams. Of course, there's the option of trades, but I don't think the Titans will be trading very much. I think the Titans are going to add some veterans to the secondary, particularly the corners, but I don't think it'll be names like that. I think it'll be maybe some names that you haven't thought of or seen in a while, but I think the Titans will add some veteran depth for sure. This user said, keeping Restrepo. If the Titans are going to be bad again this season, why not keep Restrepo just because? Give Ward someone he has a connection with to throw to. Give Restrepo a real chance in live NFL football. Get him some experience, and if the whole thing blows up in our faces, then at least it should still be interesting football to watch, I guess. When it comes down to it, I just can't get Ward and Restrepo connecting for crazy super clutch TD passes in Miami out of my head, and I just can't believe that he is legitimately the number 8 receiver on the roster right now. I mean, I've said this. I would love to see Ward and Restrepo get some work together in the preseason at least, see what it looks like. But I also have to trust that this coaching staff has seen what's going on in practice and in training camp. And if they have looked at Xavier Restrepo and deemed that he's not good enough to make the final 53, I guess I'll trust their judgment for now. I would like to have him come back on the practice squad. I don't think he's making the 53. He's not getting into the preseason games till into the fourth quarter, so I don't think they have high plans or big plans for him. But I would like to see him make the practice squad. Like I said, I would love to see him get some work with Cam, especially Van Jefferson hasn't been great in the preseason. Who knows where you stand with a guy like Bryce Oliver or James Prochet. But I have to trust their judgment. They've seen Restrepo in practice, and if there's a reason they're not as high on him as the fans, I guess there's a reason. Final post. Cam Ward, bold predictions. This is hopes and dreams. Speaking of hopes and dreams, God help me. God help me. Speaking of hopes and dreams, Danny Dimes. The next big thing, lost quarterback battle to Daniel Jones. When you wish upon a star. Cam Ward will solidify himself as the best Titans QB in history over Warren Moon. From your mouth to God's ears. Cam Ward will become the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. Wow. Cam Ward will break the all-time passing record. Cam Ward will be in the Pro Bowl his rookie year. Cam Ward will make the AFC Championship during his rookie contract. And Cam Ward will make the Madden cover in 2028. Listen. Lord, listen to this user. Please hear what this user has declared. And I hope they are a prophet. I want all of that to happen and then some. I'm excited about Cam. I know you guys are too. And I think it's funny that everybody everywhere, whether it's people covering the team or coaches that are like, hey, we want to be realistic. We want to go in with realistic expectations. And then Cam comes out himself and he's like, I think we got a top 5 receiving core in the league. I think we got one of the best offenses in the league. It's like, okay, so the coaches are like, hey, let's be realistic about our roster. And Cam's like, I think we have the best roster in the league. Like, he's Cam, man. He's gonna talk, and I'm fine with it. Appreciate you guys joining me. Don't forget the Reddit community. Two-Tone Talk is in the video description below. The Titans play the Vikings tomorrow night. Tighten up, everybody. Bye.